Okay, so after you take the photos, you are going to email them to yourself at your school email account. So I have mine right here. And once I open this, I have all 5 of my photos. So what you're gonna do when you hover over the photo in this bottom right corner, you'll see the triangle for the Google Drive. And you're gonna click that to save each of your photos to your Google Drive. So you'll notice that all of these photos are kind of original. They're not cropped, they're not rotated. I can do all of that in Google Slides. So once you do that, you're gonna head over to a new Google Slides. So I just type in Slides New. And you're only gonna be doing one slide for this. It's not gonna be a whole slide presentation. Google Slides is just the best way to put all of this information together. So you can move pictures around easily. The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna create this blank slideshow, and I'm gonna go up to Insert Image. So the image is in my drive, and I'm gonna find, they should be under my recents, and I can, here they are, GANIM. So I'm gonna click all of those, insert those 5 images. And right now they're all selected, it looks like. So if I drag the corner, then I can size them all down. So I'm just gonna kind of line them up. If this one is sideways, you can take this top dot and drag it so that you have it vertical. It looks like it got a little bit squished too. So I'm gonna go G, A, this is kind of your rough draft, N, I, M. So now comes the resizing and cropping, because you don't want it to look like this. You want to make sure that all of the boxes are the same size. So in order to crop, you have to double click a picture. So right now we see these blue handles on the edges. That's not going to crop it. That's just going to make it bigger or smaller. Okay. And if you do it on the bottom or the side, it's going to make it longer or wider. And you don't want that to happen either. Not at least right now. So if you have extra area, double click on it, and you'll see these black crop handles. And then you can crop any negative space, any area that you don't want out of that. So for this, I'm going to use this A from the sweatshirt. So I'm going to crop everything else out of that and make it a lot bigger. This G is going to have to be a little bit smaller, it looks like. So as I'm resizing it, it kind of shows you where it's at in relation to the other pictures. I'm also going to have to crop this N from this compass real close in. It's got a lot of negative space that we don't need in that picture. So if you can, also zoom in with your camera, and you won't have too much cropping, but I know it's hard sometimes with the lighting. I'm going to move all of these over a little bit. And lastly, the M, I'm going to crop and crop that one out. And I'm doing this pretty quickly. It'll take you a little bit longer. I've been working on a few of these. So now I just have to resize them and make sure they all fit on one document. So make sure it's visually appealing. This is an art project, so you are getting graded on that. So don't make it just a big mess. You can crop that in a little bit tighter, put it next to here so you can see kind of where it lines up with the rest. And actually, since this eye is so wide, I can make this a little bit narrower, and I can actually make this N a little bit thicker so that they're a little bit more consistent. It should also be noted, you can use your arrow keys to move these objects just a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right instead of using your mouse and clicking on it. So I'm gonna make this G a little bit wider, I think. And there I go. So if you select all of them, so I just kind of draw a box around all of them, I can center it, or I can resize the whole thing. So if you want the whole thing to be like really tall, you can do that, but it might look kind of funny and stretched out. But just make sure they're all selected, and then you can easily adjust the whole collage at once. So next is the background. So you can do whatever you want for the background. You could do a solid color black. You could do gradient colors, or you can even add a pattern. So maybe you want it to go from light to dark black, and then maybe you want to frame around the letters. So if you want to frame around the letters, all you have to do is select all of them again. So I'm just holding down Shift while I'm clicking on them, or just draw a square around all of them. I'm actually going to shrink these back down. And then to make a frame, up here where the little pencil is, you're going to click on border color. So I usually do black. If you want to do something funky, go for it. Maybe you want to do a purple or maroon. And then the border weight, this is how thick or thin the lines are. So 3 is not very thick at all, whereas 24 is very thick. So if you want that, you can do that. I tend to go with black for this. Maybe I'll do like a 16 point. And I also noticed that my A is a little bit out of line. That's a little bit better. So play around with that, see what you want to do. The last thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to download it as a JPEG, and that's going to help you to upload it to Artsonia. So I'm going to name it. So I'm going to say name Collage Ganem and file. Download. You're going to scroll down to JPEG image, and you'll see it down here. It'll say name collage, whatever you titled it, and so you know that that's where it is, and that'll be my downloads folder. So when you go to Artsonia, I just Google Artsonia class, and you'll put your teacher's code in that you have in the directions for Artsonia, and this would probably be helpful for you to have written down, MKKS. Oh, I already put mine in. So if I'm going to search for my name, I'm actually not in my roster, but this is what I had last time when I uploaded this as a tester. So I'm just going to click Add New Artwork, find the album that you need to upload it to, which is your teacher's name, or hashtag your teacher's name. Remote learning, select the image, and then it's going to be in your downloads folder probably. So I'm just going to search name collage, and it was name collage Ganem, open. And you'll see a preview, and this is a lot more user-friendly than your phone doing it on a computer. So I can preview it, I can crop it if I have like a lot of extra area. So if you want to do that, you can make it a little bit more narrow. And this is cool too. It makes a nice, cool gift. You can brighten it up if you want. Don't go crazy. If you make any changes that you don't want to keep, you can always undo or reset. But I'm just going to go ahead and accept this. And then title of it, Ganem name collage. And green means go, submit to teacher. And then your artist statement. Say this was really fun. I started finding letters everywhere, which is really what happened. I was taking pictures of everything. Green means go, always submit it to teacher. Do not do this, like I said in the introductory video this week. So submit to teacher, and this is the wrong album. You make sure you're in the right album, but this is what it should look like when you're finished, and you are good to go. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email your art teacher, and have fun and be creative, and we can't wait to see what you do.